Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for your patience as we ironed out some tech issues. What we've done is we're going to be rolling back ever so slightly. HUDS is going to kind of pick up from roughly where we left off when the stream dropped. So that way you get all the wonderful Sonic that y'all donated for. HUDS, I believe we're good to have you start back up again. So just be sure to let our wonderful tech team know when you're getting started so they can restart that timer for you.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thank you very much, Scarlett. And can I just say a huge thank you and shout out to the tech team here at Power Up the Pride, getting everything back up and running. I do tech for UKSG and various other marathons, and I can tell you it's always a nervy moment when things go wrong. So massive shout outs to everyone behind the scenes. Give them all the love in the chat, please, because they've done a wonderful job getting us back. So yeah, we've stopped the timer at 21:21. That was my split time for the end of Mushroom Hill 2. So on last episode, you will have seen us get to the Mushroom Hill 2 boss. I'm pleased to say that I succeeded on that boss without dying. And we're about to go into Flying Battery 1. So we're going to resume from there, and we'll get underway in 3, 2, 1, go.
Really interesting, HUDS, that you decided to fill that in by saying that I definitely beat the boss without dying, when the only people that know any different are me and Ben. And wouldn't it be really awful if we just told chat how many times you died on that boss?
You cheeky.
It was 0. It was 0.
Yeah, so, I did genuinely beat it.
I did genuinely beat it, like it's a moment of pure triumph. The most difficult boss in Sonic 3 Air.
Oh, love it. Right, so back to the Room of Doom.
Yeah, the Flying Battery is an interesting zone because in the original it's Crush Death Simulator, and in Air it's still Crush Death Simulator, but at least it's more fair. Oh, Charles just taking the spike to the posterior there, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem.
That's all right, it'll actually help with the cycles down here.
Yeah, how do the cycles work here exactly, Dan?
A lot of these are based on the IDT. So there's times when those electromagnet things are active and when they're not. Generally, I think a lot of them are on about a 10-second cycle between when they're up and then up again. But obviously, some of them HUDs can just fly past, like that one there.
Yeah, and shout outs as well to you, Carrier, doing a lot of work in this zone to fix and make the hitboxes more fair. That flight that clipped the side of that rising pillar thing, just as we drop down that tube, that would have caused damage in the original game. And now we get to fight Mr. Tickles, one of the most engaging bosses in the game.
We love Mr. Tickles.
Why are you hitting yourself, the boss?
Yeah.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. So yeah, we're going to stand up on his plunger, on his noggin. He's going to bop himself on the head. We're going to do that 6 times. And then he's going to take a quick shower and head to the hospital for his concussion.
Oh, bless him. Well, at least he's had a good evening. So with that done, we move into Flying Battery Act 2, which in terms of actual time is way longer, but in terms of actual content that you get to play is way shorter. It's a really, really interesting level. A lot of opportunity to make the use of all 3 characters to pick up a little bit of extra speed and keep momentum as much as possible. The level is heavily cycle based though.
Yeah, a lot of it's waiting on these screws and platforms to go down and things.
So this one's a little bit unique. For those of you who might not know, a bit of trivia. Flying Battery was originally meant to be in the first half of the game, in the Sonic 3 half, and was cut basically because it wasn't finished. So it got put in the second half of the game, Sonic and Knuckles. And obviously with lock-on technology, you put the 2 cartridges together, you get Sonic 3 and Knuckles the full game. Because of that, at the time, Knuckles didn't really, hadn't really been fully thought out by the developers. This level is one of a few that doesn't have, and it's mostly the original levels, doesn't have a unique Knuckles route. Knuckles just does Sonic's route. Ironically enough, though, Knuckles is pretty powerful in this, especially with these, the coils, like the spinners and stuff. He's very useful for doing things like avoiding the spikes just there. So
yeah, the quirks of his glides really come in handy.
Also, everyone.
Spider Steve.
Thank you, Spider Steve, for your service. It salutes out. Yeah, one of the most important characters in all Sonic canon.
Yeah, and another really interesting quirk with the level and it being a holdover is that in an actual normal Knuckles campaign, obviously you fight Egg Robo instead of Robotnik, but in the actual base game, he just becomes Robotnik for this boss in particular as an oversight. Speaking of, Eggman or Egg Robo are looking kind of different here, aren't they?
Yeah.
A bit spikier than I remember.
So yeah, little Easter egg. Fans of Sonic 2 will recognize this. The original Mecha Sonic. As Silver Sonic's evil henchman. Yeah. I always forget, was he Mecha Sonic or was he Silver Sonic? Officially. Ben will know. Ben knows everything.
Well, I always refer to him as Silver Sonic for that one.
Yeah, I do as well.
Oh, there you go then.
Because Metal Sonic is the CD one, and Mecha Sonic is the one that's in Sky Sanctuary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bitches is cheating!
It's not a glitch, it's a hidey hole. Yeah, for some reason there's like a random hole there that you can get into. You can just hide in there. It's in the original game. They left it in air. Just, it's there.
I can only assume it's just someone forgot to put a bit of collision there.
Yes.
Yeah, a bit of terrain.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna try Rix's strat here. Oh.
Yeah, something we've not mentioned as well is...
Oh, I'm dead. Oh no, I got a ring. Oh, phew.
is that Chaos actually gets the harder Knuckles variant for most of the bosses. So the Sonic version of this boss doesn't shoot the fire constantly, and it also moves slower.
All the love in the chat for that one ring, by the way, that just saved me.
Yeah. And with Flying Battery done, we now move into Huds' favourite level, and the second most popular zone in S3K.
This is Sandopolis. I have done this a fair few thousand times, to say the least.
Yeah, and this is also, this level in particular has lots of opportunities for good skill expression and going quickly. And I know I've said this quite a few times already, but like Chaos really shines here because you can take a combination of every character's path and use all of their abilities.
Although ironically, we mostly just take Tails' path because it's fastest.
Mostly Tails' path, but occasionally we might do a drop dash or turn into Knuckles.
Oh yeah.
Or turn into Sonic and get hit on spikes as well, because that's RNG manipulation for a strat coming up. Again, another level that is very heavily cycle based.
Oh, okay, I'm going to the other side. Didn't get the Tails flight.
Yeah,
Sticky buttons. Shout out to Old Clov for that little jump there, by the way.
Oh yeah, let's go Clov jump.
The Clov jump.
So as we come through here, we're going to come to the Pyramid Rising cutscene, which we can now wonderfully fast forward. This boss is really interesting. This boss we can either hit in the head, or there is an alternative strategy where the boss says, "Humour me, and I'll leave you be."
I'll give you one, all right? I'll give you one. There you go.
You're not going to fully humour the boss?
No, it costs like 30 seconds. You can claim it's less than that all you like, but it's not.
Oh, I could not believe you wouldn't humour the boss. One thing that's actually genuinely really nice in there is that when you hit the boss, he slides along the floor, which massively speeds up that boss fight.
Beep. Beep. Beep.
I'd say I love the ghost sound effect that I'll put on this one. The ghost!
I mean, it's an accurate description of what they are, isn't it?
It very much is.
Yeah, Sando 2 is another level that's really, really good for Chaos. There's lots of routes through it. So the thing with Sando 2 is, as a kid, I hated this level. And I imagine there's not many people that really are terribly fond of it.
Same.
And that's because the level sucks if you play as Sonic.
It really does.
If you have to sit and wait for the sand slides, dreadful level, abhorrent. If you can do anything else to skip those sand slide bits, absolutely brilliant level. Mwah, chef's kiss. For a second, I really worried you were going to get squashed by that.
No, I was early to the cycle. Okay, so we are fully dark now, which means the Hyodora, or the ghosts, are going to be coming after me shortly, so I'm going to have to be a little bit careful to try and avoid them. here they come. But there's going to be a light switch in a second that's en route that we pretty much always get, just up here. Dang it. There we go. And they go away once again.
I like how one of the ghosts just got a little bullying in just before you made him disappear and said, nope. You will respect me.
Okay, I can't spin dash on that for some reason. Thank you, game.
Sonic 3 has a hell of a game.
It is indeed. Okay, this one I need to be careful not to get crushed on. Oh, we're fine. Good cycles.
Yeah. Oh, so that one in particular is kind of the dicey part of the level. There are a few bits in a couple of levels where you might just die if you've timed it badly, and there's not really any way to know. Yeah, nice little, not a glitch. That's just been done there, by the way, going up the sand slide. It might have perhaps looked like one, but it definitely was not.
Although for Tails, it can be a bit of a pain to do that one because, like, for some reason, it will put him in like the standing animation, and then but not actually on the actual platform of the sand, so you fall back down again.
Just like that, we made it through to this. Are we going to get him to stay completely still? Oh, not quite. Again, this boss moves quicker for Knuckles, and that can genuinely be very difficult to adapt to if you're not expecting it.
There we go. Not a bad Sando 2. Made all the better for having Tails available. That's all I can say.
Absolutely.
And into Lava Reef. The beef.
Yeah, so we're coming up into our basically our penultimate zone now. As we're doing Chaos Story, aren't we, Huds?
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, we're coming into the penultimate zone now because I'm including Clayton Palace and Sky Sanctuary as one zone. Mentally, that's how I think of them.
Yeah. What's interesting about this is actually Knuckles' Lava Reef that we are in, which is... It's an interesting level, very cycle based, very cycle heavy with all these crushers. Need to be very careful of them. Very tricky little one to get through, but much faster than Sonic, so we're very glad about that.
I think that's a really interesting quirk with sort of how Lava Reef works, in that for Sonic, it's kind of a tricky level, but it's not like super difficult. For Knuckles, it's his final zone, so like it genuinely needed to be very challenging. And that really shows in sort of the object placement and sort of how you have to work to really avoid everything and make it through quickly. And this continues into Act 2 as well, where Sonic's Act 2, that we won't be seeing, is kind of long, not really much to it. And Knuckles' Act 2 is full of obstacles and is really hard to actually go fast in. Right, now we need to deal with Wobbly Arms first.
Official name.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Big Palm.
What's interesting is this one is known... Big Hands, isn't it? I think the official name is for this boss, but it's only one hand.
Yeah.
Or Big Arm. Is it Big Hands, I think? What's it called, Ben?
Is it Heat Arms?
Oh,
Yeah,
Heat Arms.
Heat Arms.
Sorry, Heat Arms, that's it. I'm getting confused with Big Arms with Launch Base. Yeah, Heat Arms, plural, but there's only one.
Well,
I think it refers to the wavy things.
Right, so we're going to be taking Knuckles Lava Reef Act 2 because it's much, much quicker. And there is an incredible sort of... I wouldn't necessarily say Easter egg, but obviously we're going to be taking the Knuckles exit in this level. And those of you that have played this before might realise there's something Knuckles doesn't do in this level that no one that has played it as Sonic actually likes.
So true.
Genuinely makes this run, like, actually very enjoyable. Because you get to this bit and you realise... Yeah, like, Knuckles Lava Reef 2 is a difficult level. If Huds loses this fire shield, it's not going to be brilliant for him. There is a backup one that we can get here on the left, but unfortunately the backup fire shield is basically after the point where it's really useful. But there are still a couple of extra flamethrowers that Huds is going to keep the fire shield for, just to make sure he doesn't have to waste time or damage boost for any flamethrowers. This is a really, really interesting level in that if you keep the fire shield, it's straightforward enough. You just need to sort of platform well. But if you lose the fire shield, it's an absolute nightmare.
Oh my god, Tails, please, thank you.
He just didn't feel like it. He just didn't feel like it. And with that, we are through scot-free to the very end of Lava Reef 2. This is normally where Knuckles would push us down into a pit and we'd fight that dreadful 2-minute auto-scroller boss. We don't have to do that, and that's why this run is goated. We get
Psych.
to come
I'll do
straight
that.
to the Hidden Palace, straight into Knuckles' sort of top entrance, so we get right to the Doomsday Mule very quickly.
Yeah, so this one's another interesting change. The fact that you start in Knuckles' area, and anyone who knows anything about S3K will know that Knuckles' Hidden Palace, there's a bit of a meme in the fact that pretty much every Sonic speedrunner holds the world record at exactly 8 seconds.
Yeah, juice time.
It's called juice time. But yeah, so Sota, you start off in Knuckles' area, but the teleporter doesn't work, and you have to continue on and actually go and do the boss, like Silver Sonic. But yeah. So that's that one done. Bit of a fast forward for the cutscene, and we're heading into Sky Sanctuary, and my favorite music in this particular music mod pack, in this enhanced mod pack.
For a second, I really thought you were... I don't know why, but I just understand.
I'm glad you understand RPG.
I do understand. This is a really, really interesting level because it basically just becomes fly up the level. There are 2 mini-bosses in this level. We're not going to see either of them because we're just going to fly over them between the level geometry. Tails really breaks this level. Nice backup with the invincibility that was definitely intentional.
100% intentional. Very frustrating as I now don't have a lightning shield. It's fine, I can use Tails.
Yeah, Tails is incredibly OP in this particular level. It's going to continue to ascend. We skip 2 of the bosses. We're going to skip another teleporter in a minute because we can just jump and fly. And then we're going to skip doing some little platforming and running by just jumping and flying. And then we're going to go to the boss.
And Sky Sanctuary Act 2!
Plot twist, dun dun dun! So we have to do Sonic's Sky Sanctuary up to the boss point, up to the boss fight point, and then we get taken to Knuckles' boss fight instead. Oh no, where were you when Silver Sonic was killed?
So first part of the fight, gonna get, come at you, 8 hits on Silver Sonic, and then we're going into the second part. Heads up on time, it's going to be coming up in around about a minute or so.
Yeah, so the way Silver Sonic works here is he's literally a reskin of Mecha Sonic. Although there is a slight quirk, or not quirk, a slight change to how his AI behaves here that can absolutely throw off sort of a seasoned player. In that he won't ever do this attack where he becomes vulnerable unless you stand directly beneath him. But outside of that, the boss fight is unchanged and it's relatively straightforward. Grab 5 quick hits on the first power down phase and then grab the other 3 afterwards. And doing this skips his phase 2 where he sort of floats around and becomes vulnerable periodically.
So time is going to be coming up on the fade out. 3, 2, 1, time. And that is Sonic 3 Air Chaos the Imposter. Chaos' story.
Now he's a puddle.
And now he is indeed a puddle. Watery boy. Yeah, it's honestly it's one of my absolute favorite runs to do. It's such a unique way of playing this game. For anyone who's played Sonic 3 and Knuckles, maybe you've even played Sonic 3 Air and you've gone through all the stories, you've done Sonic and Tails, you've done Knuckles, you've done even Tails, and you want a new challenge, Chaos the Imposter is one of the most unique and one of the best challenges you can have. As we kind of alluded to during the run, it's not just about knowing one route. You need to know all the routes for all the characters, and you need to know which one is best to use at any given time. The speedrun for that reason is so fun. It's a real blast through Angel Island, and I absolutely love doing this run. So yeah, that's that. I know we're behind, so I just want to say firstly a huge thank you to both my commentators, to RPG and Ben. RPG, if you want to start, where can the lovely people find you?
Lovely people can find me, not very often, but sometimes over at twitch.tv/RPG_hidden wizard, where sometimes I'll stream speedrunning, sometimes I'll stream any old tat, and sometimes I make video game instead.
Do. And Ben?
Well, I'm on twitch.tv/Ben in Sweden, but I stream probably about once a year at the moment, so if you know me, you might get lucky.
But yeah, other than that, that's Sonic 3 Air. Do please go and download this game. It is completely free to download. You do need the Sonic 3 and Knuckles ROM. Please acquire it legally if you can and pay for it. Support Sega. Massive shout outs to Eukaryote, the developer of this game. It's honestly the best way to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles. There's no doubt about it. Also, shout outs to Sotanuk, who made the Chaos mod. Thank you to Argic for the sound effects pack. And with that, I'm going to hand back over to Scala to take us to intermission.
Thank you so much. We are going to just take a little break, but then we will be back with more Sonic in just a moment. So, y'all, please stay tuned here at Winter Pride 2022.